Hey everyone. Have you ever thought about being 10 times better at your job? Not by working, crazy hours, but by being smarter about it. By using AI. That's what we're diving into today. It's all about how AI is creating this whole new kind of worker. Andrew Ng calls them 10x
Oh,
professionals.
yeah, Andrew Ng.
Yeah, he's the guy behind deeplearning.ai and landing.ai.
Hmm.
And he's got this newsletter where he's really focused on how AI is going to totally change the future of work.
Yeah.
We're going to get into how AI is shaking up regular jobs like marketing, recruiting, even stuff like
Oh,
analysis.
yeah, those are changing fast.
Plus, we'll talk about things that sound like they're straight out of sci-fi, like, AI agents that can actually use computers.
That's wild,
And
right?
then there are these super fast language models that can reason and solve problems.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly it's all developing.
By the end of this, you'll totally get how AI is going to revolutionize work.
Hmm.
And maybe you'll even get some ideas on how you can become a 10x professional.
I love that. Empowering people, right?
Totally. So, Andrew's take is really interesting. He's not just talking about the tech itself.
Right.
He's looking at how it's going to change, like how we work and the skills we'll need to, actually succeed.
It's a whole new way of thinking about work, like a paradigm shift almost.
Yeah, exactly. So let's dig into this 10x professional thing.
All right, let's break it down.
Andrew's saying it's not about, just working 10 times harder or anything like that.
Yeah, not just grinding all the time.
It's about having 10 times the impact compared to, your average coworker.
That's a great point. It's about effectiveness, not just effort.
And AI is the secret sauce.
AI is the key.
But, I got to ask, why is this so important now?
That's a good question.
Is it just about getting more done?
Well, I think it's more than that.
Or are there bigger changes happening in the job market that are making this, so crucial?
Oh, absolutely. There are definitely some big shifts happening. The term 10x engineer, for instance,
Hmm.
it's been around in tech for a while.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
It used to be about these, crazy, talented programmers who could basically do the work of 10 average engineers.
No.
But with AI, it's not just about individual, genius anymore.
Right, right.
It's becoming more about working with AI in a really smart way.
So it's less about being a, coding superstar and more about understanding how to use AI to change your workflow, right?
Exactly.
How to use it to rethink those everyday processes.
Yeah, exactly. Think about a marketer.
Okay.
Instead of spending hours, writing social media posts, they could use AI to do that.
Wow.
And then use their time to analyze audience data, personalize the message, maybe even run some A/B tests to see what works best. That's a 10x marketer right there.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's not just some far-off fantasy either.
Oh, definitely not. This is happening right now.
Andrew mentions a study, it was from 2023 by Harvard and BCG, that found consultants using GPT-4 could get 12% more tasks done, 25% faster.
Wow, 25% faster.
Yeah, a 25% speed boost, it's massive.
That's huge. And that was back in 2023. Imagine what it's like now.
Yeah, it's incredible. But for our listeners, maybe not in those exact roles, how can they start thinking like a 10x professional in their field?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
What kind of questions should they be asking about their work?
One big thing is to look for tasks that are, repetitive or that just take up a lot of time.
Okay, the time-consuming stuff.
Yeah. Could an AI tool handle those, freeing you up to focus on more strategic stuff,
That's interesting.
more creative work? That's the core of being a 10x professional, using AI to boost those unique human skills you have.
Okay, I'm ready for this. Get ready for this, everyone, because now we're going to talk about something that sounds like pure science fiction AI agents that can use computers.
Oh,
I mean, how is that even possible?
right. It sounds crazy.
It's like something out of a movie.
It really is.
Companies like Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI are really pushing the limits here.
Yeah, they're doing some cutting edge stuff.
There's this research paper. It's on a model called UI-TARS that's super interesting.
AITARs. Yeah, I've heard of that.
They actually trained this model to use reasoning to actually control computers.
That's wild.
So we're not just talking about AI making text or images here.
Right. It's way beyond that.
This is AI understanding instructions and actually taking action in the digital world. That's mind-blowing. But what does this reasoning actually mean?
Yeah, good question. It's a tricky concept.
Does UITARS just follow pre-programmed rules?
Mm.
Or is it actually thinking things through the way a human would?
That's where things get really interesting. UI-TARS uses something called chain of thought reasoning. It's kind of like it breaks down a complicated task into smaller steps,
Okay.
and it can actually even correct its own mistakes as it goes.
So it's not just blindly following orders.
Yeah.
It's more like, it's got its own internal thought process.
Exactly. And that's a big step toward AI, actually understanding what it's doing,
Right.
not just mimicking, human actions.
So how does this all connect back to, this idea of being a 10x professional?
Well, it shows us the incredible potential AI has to automate these really complex tasks that, humans used to have to do.
Right.
And that could free us up to focus on the stuff that needs, creativity, critical thinking, and those human skills that are so important.
This might sound pretty sci-fi.
It does, right?
But Google's taking this seriously. Their Gemini 2.0 model with its flash thinking capabilities.
Yeah, flash thinking.
It's all about reasoning and problem solving like a human.
It's amazing what they're doing.
What makes this different from other reasoning models,
Yeah.
like OpenAI's O1 or DeepSeek R1?
Well, Gemini 2.0 has this thing called an extended context window.
Okay.
It can process and understand way more information than older models. To put it simply, it's not just faster, it's smarter too.
Oh, that's cool. So it's like it can see the bigger picture, right?
Exactly. And it's actually doing really well against the competition. It's aced a bunch of performance tests, and it's even at the top of the chatbot arena leaderboard, which means people are finding it really helpful and enjoyable to use.
Hold on. 1 million token context window.
1 million. It's huge.
That sounds like a lot. What does that actually mean?
Yeah.
Like for someone like me who's not, coding every day.
Yeah, good point. It can be hard to grasp.
Can you give us a real world example?
Imagine you feed this model an entire code base, like all the code for a giant software program.
Okay, yeah.
Gemini 2.0 could analyze it, find any bugs that are hiding in there, and even suggest improvements all at once.
Whoa. So it's not just automating tasks anymore. It's actually becoming like a partner in solving these big problems.
Exactly. It's really changing the game.
And that leads us to another really cool development.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Moshi, which is this open source speech-to-speech system.
I've heard of Moshi, yeah.
It's made to be supernatural and conversational.
It's supposed to be really impressive.
Even with all the advancements in voice assistants, I still find those interactions kind of awkward.
I know what you mean.
Like the pauses, the interruptions, it just doesn't feel like a normal conversation.
Yeah, they can be a bit robotic sometimes.
Yeah. And that's exactly what Moshi's trying to fix. It's built to handle overlapping speech. Those little things we all do when we talk.
Like, and
Yeah, and all those things that make human conversation flow smoothly.
Yeah.
So it's not just understanding the words, but like the whole rhythm and flow of a real conversation.
Precisely. And the tech behind it is really interesting. It uses this encoder-decoder called Mimi and a transformer-based LLM called Helium. And together they make this super sophisticated system that can, listen and respond in a way that feels almost human.
Okay, but how does it compare to those other systems out there like ChatGPT Voice or GPT-4o?
Yeah.
Is it actually better?
Well, for one thing, it's a lot faster.
Okay.
Moshi can respond in about 200 milliseconds.
Wow.
Which is a huge improvement over, those seconds-long delays we're used to with other systems.
Yeah, that's impressive. So it's fast, it's conversational, but what about accuracy? Does it actually understand what you're saying?
It's doing pretty well in tests.
Okay.
It scored higher than a lot of other speech-to-text-to-speech models on a benchmark called Web Questions.
Okay.
But honestly, what I find most interesting is Moshi's ability to, actually generate silence strategically.
Wait, silence?
Yeah.
Why is that important?
Think about how we talk to each other.
Okay.
We don't just, rattle off words nonstop.
Right.
We pause, we take breaths, we let the other person jump in.
Yeah, yeah.
By adding in those little pauses, Moshi feels way more natural and human-like. It's those tiny details that can make a big difference.
So it's picking up on those unspoken rules of conversation.
Yeah.
It's not just about, getting the words right, but the whole dance of how we communicate.
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing.
And when you think about it, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Those tiny nuances can really change how we feel about interacting with AI.
Yeah.
It makes the whole experience more comfortable and natural.
It's crazy to think about how fast all of this is developing.
I know, right?
From 10x professionals to AI that can like actually use computers.
It's mind-blowing.
And then these advancements in, how AI actually talks to us.
It really makes you wonder what's next.
It really does. And what I like about Andrew's newsletter is that he's not just talking about, possibilities for tech companies and researchers.
Right.
He's talking about possibilities for, everyday professionals like you and me.
Yeah, it's for everyone.
It's not just about the future of work. It's about your future at work.
I love that.
Absolutely. We're seeing this whole new wave of, these 10X professionals, and they're using AI to totally change the game in their fields.
It's amazing to see.
They're not just, automating the boring stuff. They're finding deeper insights. They're personalizing their approach. They're doing things we couldn't even imagine just a few years ago.
It's really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And remember, just having access to, these powerful AI tools,
Yeah.
it doesn't automatically make you a 10X professional.
Right.
It's about understanding how to use them effectively.
Yeah, you got to know how to use them.
Finding creative ways to integrate them into your workflow.
Mm-hmm.
It's about developing what Andrew calls AI fluency.
I like that term, AI fluency.
So it's like, learning a new language, you don't have to be, a programmer or anything.
Right.
But you do need to know the basics to like communicate what you want and really get the most out of these tools. And the best part is you're the one in control.
You have the power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And using these tools ethically, that's just as important as understanding how they work.
Absolutely. Responsibility is key.
It's about using AI to, like, empower yourself, not just blindly following whatever it suggests.
Yeah, you got to be critical.
You're still the expert in your field.
Mm-hmm.
AI is there to, like, enhance your skills, not replace them.
It's a partnership.
That's such an important point.
It really is.
It's all about, like, that synergy between human intelligence and artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
We each bring something unique to the table.
Exactly. And as AI keeps evolving, it's going to create these new opportunities and challenges that we can't even predict right now.
Right.
Imagine a world where AI is handling all those routine tasks,
Yeah.
and it frees us up to focus on big picture thinking, on innovation, on solving those really complex problems.
It's both exciting and a little daunting, right?
It is, yeah. It's a lot to take in.
It really makes you realize how important it is to keep learning, keep adapting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Got to stay curious.
We need to keep, like, evolving our skills, how we think, to stay ahead of the curve.
It's a constant process of learning and growth.
And what I think Andrew's newsletter really drives home is that AI isn't just for, coders and data scientists anymore.
It's for everyone.
It's a tool for everyone.
I completely agree.
And as these tools become more, like, accessible and user-friendly,
Yeah.
we're gonna see this, like, explosion of creativity and innovation across all kinds of industries.
It's going to be amazing to see what people come up with.
So let's bring it back to our listeners.
Okay, let's do it.
What can they do right now to get ready for this, AI-powered future?
Yeah, what are some practical steps?
Any tips?
First and foremost, I'd say embrace your curiosity.
Okay, stay curious.
Don't be afraid to experiment with these new AI tools, even if you don't, think of yourself as a tech person.
Right.
There are so many free resources available online,
Yeah, there really are.
from beginner courses to like interactive demos.
Yeah.
Just start playing around and see what you can do.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
And I'd add, don't be scared to fail.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
This is new territory for everyone.
It really is.
And the best way to learn is by, trying things out, making mistakes, and figuring out what works for you.
Exactly. Learning by doing.
It's a journey, not a destination, right?
Absolutely.
The more you, experiment, the more comfortable you'll get with these tools and the more creative you'll be in using them.
And that's what it's all about, finding new ways to use these tools.
And remember, AI is a tool, not a replacement.
Right. It's there to help you.
Think about how you can use it to, make your existing skills even better,
Yeah.
not try to become something you're not.
That's a really good point. It's about finding that sweet spot where human intelligence and AI work together
Yeah.
to create something really remarkable.
Before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final, thought-provoking question.
Oh, I like this.
You know that Andrew's newsletter really sparked for me.
Okay.
As AI keeps evolving at this, crazy pace, what totally new roles and opportunities will pop up for those 10X professionals of the future?
That is the question, isn't it?
What will the workplace even look like?
That's like the $1 million question.
It is.
It's really hard to say like for sure what the future holds, but
Yeah.
one thing is becoming really clear.
Okay.
That line between, tech jobs and non-tech jobs, it's kind of getting blurry.
Oh, yeah.
AI is becoming a part of like every workplace,
Yeah.
which means everyone, it doesn't matter what your field is, needs to be thinking about how AI can change their work,
For the better.
Yeah, for the better, exactly.
It's not just for programmers, data scientists anymore. But
Yep.
talking about like marketers, recruiters, analysts, even, artists and writers. AI has like something to offer everyone.
It really does.
And that's why this whole idea of, being a 10x professional is so important now.
Absolutely.
It's not about becoming like, a tech expert overnight or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's about developing that AI fluency,
Right, yeah.
understanding how to use these tools well.
Mhm.
It's about seeing AI as like a teammate,
Yeah, like a partner.
someone who can help you reach your goals.
Exactly.
It's like we were talking about earlier with that million token context window,
Mhm.
even if you're not like a coder, understanding what that means
Mhm.
and how it can be, used in your field.
Right.
That's a big part of this whole AI fluency thing.
Totally. You got it. It's about like recognizing the potential of all these advancements,
Yeah.
even if you're not, the one building them.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with this.
Right.
AI is a powerful tool,
Mm-hmm.
but, it's just that it's a tool. The real power is, in our hands,
Yeah.
in how we choose to use it.
Couldn't agree more. It's about, embracing all the potential that AI has,
Yeah.
but also understanding, where it has limits. It's about that balance
Yeah.
between, human ingenuity and technological innovation.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Andrew Ng's insights on AI and the future of work.
It's been fun.
We hope you found it, informative. And maybe you got some ideas about how you can become a 10x professional in your own field.
Yeah, go out there and be amazing.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing those boundaries of what's possible with AI.